Welcome students. This is the second lecture in the series of microprocessor architecture, BSc second year semester 3rd. Yesterday I have uploaded the video regarding the basic information and preliminary things about the microprocessor. We have discussed that different number systems can be used to interact with the digital machine or the microprocessor, and the name itself, microprocessor, that it can handle large amount of data, and micro stands for only the size for the microprocessor. The microprocessor which we want to study is 8085 Intel microprocessor. The specification and features of the microprocessor we will discuss in due course. But before going to actually microprocessor, we will try to discuss where microprocessor stands in the computer system. Say, computer itself is a complete system. The different parts comprises that system. So before going to the architecture and the working of the microprocessor, let us try to understand the system, and the system is microcomputer system. So we want to study microcomputer. So this is the computer, and which is micro. There are different types of computer. You have must be knowing mini computers, then mega frame computers, then super computers. So all these things regarding the computer, depending on its speed, then its memory, then its capacity to work with the word length, and so on. So we are not interested in the greater versions or the further versions of the computer. We will be discussing only the microcomputers, means the basic computer, very initial structure of the computer, the different aspect of this computer, and that too important thing is block diagram of this computer, microcomputer. What do you mean by block diagram? So instead of going into detailed circuitry of a particular electronic device, we draw different blocks which performs a specific operation, and these blocks are interconnected. How they are interconnected, how the data flows from one block to another block, what is the function of each block, that we discuss. And after discussing complete block diagram, we may have a helicopter view of complete functioning of the system. So we will be discussing the block diagram of computer, that too a microcomputer, very preliminary computer. So any computer has a central unit known as central processing unit, and which is called as CPU. So I will draw a block for central processing unit. So this central processing unit, it comprises of arithmetic and logic unit, and it has certain memory. But this central processing unit itself cannot perform or cannot display or cannot take into data, or processed data can be given out to the outer world. So this is the world of computer, and now we want to interact with the computer. So suppose I want this central processing unit. So this central processing unit itself is a computer, but we want to interact with this computer. You cannot interact with the computer with your day-to-day language, with your day-to-day apparatus. You cannot have the result from this computer with your day-to-day language or day-to-day number system. So the language which is understood by the computer is different. The numbers which can be understood by this central processing unit, they are different. Once the numbers are given to this central processing unit, they are processed and the results are generated. the results are given out, but the results which are generated by the central processing unit, they are in the forms of ones and zeros. So as to interact with the computer, certain external devices are needed to be connected with the computer. Remember, if the external devices are not connected with central processing unit, which is the computer cannot perform any operation. So the most important unit which we want to connect with the computer is input unit. So this is another block, and this block is responsible to input the data to the central processing unit. So I will draw a arrow here. This arrow signifies this bus, means the input unit is connected to central processing unit with hard wire, and the bunch of hard wire is called as bus, bus in the microprocessor technology or microprocessor or computer terminology. So the direction of the arrow signifies the flow of data. So the data can flow from input device to central processing unit. Remember, data cannot flow from central processing unit to input device. Therefore, no direction is shown towards the input device, but the direction is shown towards the central processing unit. Okay. So once the central processing unit receives the data, certain programs are fed into the central processing unit, and these programs will process this data, the inputted data from the input device. And once the input data is given to the central processing unit, and central processing unit performs certain operations, process the data with the help of the programs stored in the central processing unit or stored in the memory elsewhere, the result will be generated, and those results must be given out. Look at the direction of the data. Now the results are coming out, so the direction is from central processing unit to the outer world, and the results are given to the output devices. So the results are given to the output devices. So the data is coming from input device to the central processing unit, the results are generated, and the results are given out to the output device. So these two devices are most important devices for any computer system: input devices and output devices. In the next slide, or in the next whiteboard, that too, we will discuss the different types of input devices and output device. But before that, let me complete the block diagram of this microcomputer system. So input devices, central processing unit, and output devices. In addition to these, memory is necessary. So the next block is memory, and this memory is connected to central processing unit. But look at the direction. The direction of the flow of the data is bidirectional, means the data can flow from memory to central processing unit, and the data can flow from central processing unit to memory. So the bus which is connecting central processing unit and memory is bidirectional, means it has two directions, towards central processing unit and towards memory, whereas the bus connected input device and central processing unit is unidirectional bus. So the flow of data is from the input device to the central processing unit, and the bus which is connecting central processing unit and output device is also unidirectional bus, and it is connecting central processing unit and output device. The flow of data will be only from central processing unit to the output device. So it is now clear that the block diagram of the microcomputer or the microcomputer consists of very important block, that is central processing unit, which can be treated as the brain of the any computer system. This brain cannot work itself, because if you have only brain and you don't have legs and hands to work, so it will be very difficult for you to survive there. In the same manner, the central processing unit cannot perform any operation without the assisting devices, and the most important assisting devices are: number one, input device and the output device. So input device gives the data to the central processing unit, central processing unit processes the data, and gives a generated result to the output device. So input, CPU and output, they are important blocks of this microcomputer system. In addition to that, memory is also connected to the central processing unit, and it is in the bidirectional. So this is how the block diagram can be treated. You can go through books, you can go through the internet, and you can find this block in a systematic manner. I have just drawn here to explain the necessary concept of the microcomputer system. Okay, now we will go to the input devices. So the input device which is connected to the central processing unit. Now this input device is responsible to transfer the data from the outer world into the central processing unit. So which devices are used for this inputting the data? So the most familiar device is keyboard. So we have a keyboard which can transfer the data from outer world into the microprocessor or the central processing unit. We have mouse, we have joystick. Number of devices can be listed which are responsible to transfer the data from outer world, from the world of user, into the microprocessor or into the central processing unit. So you can list the device. This may be for your homework, that I have mentioned only 3 input devices, but you can list out the input devices, and you can put those input devices into comment box. Now we have output devices. So which are the output devices connected to the microprocessor or central processing unit? The most familiar and most we see actually the monitor is treated as the computer somewhere. So most important and most familiar output device is the monitor. Monitor is the important device. We have the different, printer is also a output device. Projector is also output device. These are the 3 output devices I have mentioned here. Please list out some more output devices, list out input devices, and put them into your comment box. Remember, we have to interact. It is not that only I am giving the lecture and I don't know whether you are listening or not. You should listen, you should watch the lecture, and wherever necessary, you have to interact with me. Okay, so in this small discussion, we have discussed about the block diagram of microcomputer. Remember, you must be having one full question on this block diagram of microcomputer. Okay, so be with me. This is the small lecture and today's lecture regarding the block diagram of microcomputer for BSc second year, third semester students. I will be uploading this link of this lecture on YouTube, on WhatsApp group, and so on. Whoever knows the link, whoever gets the link, please circulate it amongst your friends and be in contact. Okay, so I stop for today, and what I can say rather, thank you.